Something is lurking beyond the depths. Join us for a swashbuckling adventure across the Thousand Island continent, where murder and mystery lurk behind every corner. Pirates, and that's about as much as I'm gonna go without completely fucking it up because I'm gonna.
Woohoo!
Starring Gregory Aston as the most dashing pirate of the Thousand Isles, Enrico Fernandez, the Crimson Blade.
Paul Avery as Stormtide. I'm like a sorcerer and like changeling.
More Myson as the accidentally not passive pacifist Lily. Gnome, druid, unintentional badass. Also crisp enthusiast. They're literally the best. Who knew potatoes were so versatile?
Stephen Santoris as the hot-headed, tenacious social justice warrior. Prince Janaeus of Thorindel. Yeah, I'm as awful as I sound.
Joy Amy Wickman as the bubblegum baby rock bard. Your hair is shit, your face is dumb. Did a gelatinous cube just fuck your mum? No, it's Locticus Frayne.
Are you all sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. A cool breeze drifts across Flora Isle, mingling the sweet scent of flowers with the salty tang of the Carpathian Ocean. Well-tanned locals play on the beach, while sunburned visitors sit in wicker chairs and sip cold drinks. A half-dozen nearly naked shark hunters, preparing to compete in the annual tournament, stand in the shallows on the south shore, armed with harpoons and their wits. And that is where I will be handing over to you guys. So we're going to start off with Enrico. Enrico, can you tell us where you are and what you're doing at the moment, please?
Enrico is currently sitting in one of these wicker chairs, drinking a tall drink and looking out at the sea. He has scoured the isles looking for something which is very precious to him and has not yet found it, and is busying himself doing very little. He looks quite dejected currently.
Waiter comes over from assuming that you're outside the Riptide Inn, which is sort of in the main pivotal area, sort of gives you the main outline of everywhere.
Yes, that is correct.
Waiter comes over to you from the inside of the premises with a tray. On it is a drink that is sort of very. It's almost like a cocktail, if you like, but it's got a very light violet glow. And he says, "Sir, compliments of the Riptide Inn. This is our Palma Flora."
Thank you very much. What is in it?
It is a blend of different spirits and juices that we grow here in the Carpathian Peninsula, sir. It is a drink that very popular at this time of year, especially to enjoy in the sun and in this wonderful festival environment.
Do you treat all of your guests so well? I will have to come back. I have been here before, but this is the first time I have had such hospitality.
Oh, yes, sir. We take hospitality very, very seriously here on the island. It is the main source of income for our people. Please come back and please tell your friends that this at the Riptide Inn is where you get the best service. And just for reference, Enrico, the Riptide Inn is this. Just on the seafront. So it's like loads of old ships sort of mashed up together right on the beaches. Loads of like cool places directly in the sun. Lovely.
I also ask him before he is about to leave the drink and go.
Yes,
I create a minor illusion in the air using my free hand, not my glass hand, obviously, and I create an image of my ship and said, "Have you seen this vessel of late?"
He's just staring there. His eyes are completely in amazement, like they're almost like watering. It's like he's never seen something so magical in his life before. He's, "Oh, sir, you are so gifted. This ship is yours, yes?"
The real one is far more majestic than this simple illusion. But have you seen her?
No, sir. I have never seen a ship as majestic as that. What is her name?
She is the Sea Hawk. She is mine. but I have temporarily misplaced her, shall we say. If you have not seen this vessel, perhaps you, and Enrico clicks his fingers, perhaps you have instead seen this woman. And he creates an image of Miriam in front of this waiter.
Oh, my friend, a female of this particular. I would remember. No, we have many attractive people that come to the island, though. Maybe someone else could take your interest, sir.
No one else holds my interest for any time, none but she. Thank you for your help, my friend, and I will pass on my compliments to your manager about the quality of service you have given me here.
Oh, thank you, sir, and enjoy the rest of your trip. If there is anything else that you need, please just ask for Redardo.
I will. And if you see this vessel, I will make it worth your while to let me know, huh?
Okay, the Seahawk, sir. I will not forget such a magnificent vessel.
Thank you, my friend.
And he goes back inside, leaving you to enjoy your drink. And is there anything else that you're doing at this time, Enrico? Are you going off anywhere else, or are you just enjoying?
I think I'm just sitting here and having a rest. I've looked all around the various harbors and shores, and there are some very attractive people around. But right now, my heart is not in the pursuit of pleasure, shall we say?
Okay, thank you very much. And we'll move on to Frayne and Lily. So, Frayne and Lily, what are you guys up to?
Well, I'm Frayne is sitting on the edge of a little pier with her toesies in the water. She's cast a minor illusion of a little pink fish, and she's using it to lure the other little fish in and around her feet, giving her a nice little foot massage.
Okay, so she's doing that, like the little fish that's swimming around in the sea. Loads of little ones start going over there, and like you see in the old foot spas that were quite popular a few years ago.
Very circa 2000.
Circa 2000, yeah. One of the oldest there for our older listeners. You've got about 20, 30 there just nibbling and pecking at your toes, and you feel the sea breeze just wafting through your hair.
Oh, I could get used to this. I mean, the last trek, my feet are knackered. How about you, Lil?
Lily is lying on her stomach next to Frayne on the pier, with her head sort of hovering over the water, staring at the fish, because I've been very landlocked in my upbringing, so just kind of fascinated by these fish. But my plaits have sort of fallen into the water, and the weight, and they're sort of building up water, and it's soaking them and making them really heavy. So it's sort of pulling me slowly nearer and nearer to the water. But with a lot of effort, I sort of pull my head up, and the plaits sort of whip back, not sort of in the Ariel Little Mermaid vibe that you would expect, but just sort of the weight suddenly flies back, and I sort of whiplash back, and I'm lying on my back, and with sort of seaweed kind of entangled into my already green, glittery hair, just sort of lie on my back and stare up, and suddenly see seagulls flying around my head, and say, "Oh, yeah, no, it's great."
Frayne, roll a perception check for me.
That I can do, my love. I was very good. I got my roll all set up beforehand, because you know what my big thumbs are normally like. There we are. A perception check. I have a 17.
Okay, lovely. Okay, so 17. So as your friend Lily is sort of splashed back, you get splattered with this salty water, this fresh foam from the lapping of the sea. And as you look off in the distance, your eye is just caught with a glistening as you notice a dolphin jump perfectly from the ocean into it, just pops up, and it almost in slow motion as it perfectly goes in a curved motion back into the sea. And you notice there seems to be a school of dolphins just about 300 yards into the sea from where you are on the pier.
Oh, bloody hell, I haven't seen those for ages. Lily, hang on. Frayne picks Lily up, kind of
Yeah.
dusts her off a bit, and kind of points her head in the right direction. These things,
Oh, yes.
these things are dolphins. They're brilliant. They're fast. They're friendly, and they're amazing on toast.
Amazing on toast, did you say?
I did.
Amazing.
Oh my god, I've read about them. They're literally meant to be like super, super fast. And I'm not sure quite how to take the on toast bit, but you know what? I'm gonna skim over those as fast as they're skimming through the water. They look amazing.
Do you reckon you could give one a go?
When you say give it a go, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, kind of, do you change your
I
thing?
prefer not to eat one.
Oh no, I mean, I mean, you could never eat one, love, you're tiny. But you could change into one.
I've never really delved into like water animals before. And given that my hair normally like pulls me down a little bit too much, I've been wary to. But that would be amazing.
So you're going to try it?
Do you reckon being a dolphin would be better than being a person, or being a gnome, or being an elf, or being an orc? On a like scale of 18 to 12, what do you reckon would be the best?
I mean, personally, I quite enjoy being an elf, but I do like the idea of having a tail. You won't have to focus so much on shaving your legs on sunny days.
Why would you shave your legs?
Well, I don't know. You get a kind of uneven tan otherwise, don't you?
I find that they provide very good insulation, so I've not really delved into the whole exposing my flesh to the bare elements.
Oh, you'll learn, little one.
So is Lily going to try and turn into a dolphin?
Yeah, let's give it a go.
Right, okay. If you like, I can get in with you and kind of hold my hand under your tummy. Make sure you don't fall, all right?
Okay. So I'm gonna, as sort of, we're gonna splash into the water, and I'm gonna sort of balance on your hands and sort of doggy paddle, and then what I'm gonna do is sort of doggy paddle so much that a sort of spray of water just goes round and round and round in circles until you're balancing a dolphin on your hands, and
that's how we're going to do it. Yeah.
I should, of course, point out that Frayne has removed her clothing before she gets in the water because she couldn't give a rat's ass who sees her.
That seems like baiting information, but okay.
It's not baiting information. She's an elf. She doesn't care.
Okay, so Frayne is completely nude is she completely nude or is she in her undergarment?
I think probably in her undies. I mean,
I don't know how it works. I didn't know what level
early
you were taking.
days, mate. Early days.
Okay. Right, it's daytime. All right, so okay, calm down. So so Frayne has gone into the sea in her undergarments. Takes about 10 minutes, taking off her armor, etc., or her clothes, and holds her hand out, ready for Lily to balance over.
and in the getting into the water, it's not so much a delicate sort of like stepping in and splooshing in. Lily sees Frayne's hands sort of out, and with very little ceremony, just sort of like leaps off of the deck and lands in the water on her hands. But given that she's quite small and petite, all that really happens is that Frayne gets a delicate sort of whip in the face of a plaque.
Okay. And so what does Lily need to do in order to turn into another form in your eyes? Is it something that she sort of focuses on the image of what she's just seen, or?
Yeah, so she focuses on having seen the dolphins, and ideally they would come a bit nearer so that she could kind of get a real true sense of their sort of being, and their sort of mindscape. But it is feasible for her to sort of see one leaping through. And to be honest, the dolphin leaping through and out of the water is kind of a dolphin in its purest sense. So for her, that's all she needs. And she just focuses on that image. And whilst doggy paddling like a maniac, just really, really focuses in on that dolphin. She kind of scrunches her face up really, really hard. And then her body sort of just elongates and swells, and her nose gets longer, and suddenly she has sort of this hole in the top of her in her back that she's not really sure what that's for, but she's going to go with it anyway. And yeah, and then she's a dolphin.
Amazing. So how does Frame react to this?
I'm never eating dolphin on toast again.
And you've got this dolphin. So it's this nice touch. So as Lily turns into this beautiful dolphin, which just has just this sort of streak of green. It's almost like a greeny hue dolphin, which it's just really glistening in the water, really standing out. Like it pops, you know. Two shark hunters roll over who've noticed what they've just seen. And they say, "Hey man, oh my god, did I just notice that nine over there turned into a dolphin?"
Oh, well, yes, actually, she's a little friend of mine. She's good at changing into various animals. She's a a very magical little friend. I can introduce you if you like.
Well, what is your name, first of all? You know, let's talk about your friend in a moment. You know, it's a dolphin at the end of the day, right?
Oh, yeah. But, I almost said something very rude then. We might have had to have a content warning. I very nearly used the phrase, any hole's a goal.
Yeah, Peter would not be happy with that message going out, I don't think, to be fair.
Oh, well, my name is... I'm Locticus Frayne. But you can call me Frayne. Who are you boys?
Oh, my name is Jimmy, and this here is my friend Gag.
Gag?
Gag. It's sort of known in these parts as an alternative to the name Gary.
I've never met a Gary.
Well, I guess that you now can say that you have. Gag, say hello to Frayne, our friend here. Oh, hello there. My name is Gag. Nice to meet you, Frayne. What is your friend Dolphin's name over here?
Oh, this is Lily. Lily's she's coming we're on a kind of backpacking adventure together. She's never really been to this kind of resort before. She's used to rougher places.
Right, okay. Well, we've come to the right place. If you'd like to go on a vacation, on a backpacking holiday, I guess you could say Palmaflora is kind of a pinnacle of the place, you know. But you babes should be careful out here because we're hunting sharks and dolphins. You know, people are not very clever. They might get easily confused, you know.
Well, she's got me to look after her, but I'll make knows. Well, I mean, she can understand what you're saying. She just can only kind of make an ecky noise back at you.
And at this point, Lily, I'm just going to kind of go onto my side and sort of slap a fin at them and carry them all with water. And
love it.
Flip back over and go.
Whoa, man! These guys that have been completely splashed take a step back and go, "Whoa, man! Go! Be careful, bro! This is shark hunting territory. You might scare away the sharks or something." Well, anyway, we're going now. See you ladies later, maybe at the Riptide Inn for a drink.
All right, we might do.
All right, Gak, come on, let's go. All right, nice to meet you, Frayne and Lily, boy. And then they run off. Just up the beach, down to the south of the shore.
Come on then, Lil. Let's go get a drink.
I'm gonna help Frayne out of the water by sort of putting my nose under her arse and sort of flipping her onto the decking.
Up! Alley up.
Amazing. And then we'll leave Lily and Frayne to get dressed after that little brief excursion, and we will join Janaeus and Storm. So Janaeus and Storm, where are you guys at the moment?
I was just going to say, I imagine that we're walking kind of along the shore a little bit. I feel Storm's sort of leading the way because he's. What form are you in, Storm?
Storm's going to be
Rose.
be as Rose, because two Tritons walking along might draw the wrong sort of attention. But we're sort of hoping that it's just one Triton and a woman are walking along.
So-
I'll be okay. But yeah, we're heading towards the bar, definitely, because it's called Riptide, which is the same name as my mum. So.
That's a really good point. Shit, I completely forgot about that. Yeah. Now I get the comment about coming up with some really cool original names. Sorry, man.
I genuinely thought you
Fair point. Do you know what? Can I just say, just on that note, outside of canon, the funny thing is that I did rip that name off, just not from you, just from somewhere else completely. So that's so shameless I am.
Nothing's original anymore.
Exactly. There's no. Mark Twain said like over 100 years ago. There's no such
There
thing
are
as an
only
original
7
thought.
stories.
Exactly.
7 stories, man. 7 stories. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Carry on.
Yeah, we're just gonna head up to the bar here. You just need to chill out a bit.
I mean, it's overwhelming. Like this whole remembering to breathe through your nose kind of thing. I've done it before, but like, we've been up here for a few hours now, and I just keep forgetting, and then like I'll realize that I'm not breathing, and then I'll start to panic.
Sure, I was sort of more thinking about your sister trying to kill you, but you know,
That's
the
that
breathing
too.
thing,
That's too. But you know,
stressful.
when I got breathing down, I will then worry about the people trying to kill me.
Hey, look up here. They're gonna kill some sharks. You always like a good shark killing.
Oh, what? Yeah, no, actually. That's not...
Actually.
The pacifist in me is like, sharks should be allowed to live their own lives. But then I remember, sharks are dicks. So, yeah. Let's get a drink and then maybe let's kill some sharks.
And it's the bar's named after my mom.
Oh, amazing.
Riptide.
I mean,
I don't think it's named after her because she doesn't ever leave her little island. But
I mean, yeah,
I like to think it is.
Oh, coincidences.
Coincidence, they all have the same accent as you, so that's nice.
Actually, no. It's South Africans is very different to Australian. That's actually quite racist.
And to be fair, the second that I hear too many South Africans around me, mine starts to change anyway. Because I've just got one of them sort of fluid accents that change halfway through a sentence.
And to be fair, whenever we're at home, people generally speak in an Antipodean accent. It's never quite clear where they come from.
Exactly. Is that what I can say? Like being a politician, I'm a people pleaser, and I just I'll give them the accent they want to hear from me.
Let's head up to the bar. I know someone up there, so we'll go and have a beer.
Yeah. What's the beer?
They do this local drink. It's like blue, up your street.
Okay.
But yeah, we head to the bar. Rose takes the lead. Rose goes to a table, sort of at the on the edge of the beach and on the edge of the bar. Takes off her shoes, sits cross-legged, takes out her sketchbook and starts sketching, and waits to be served.
Okay, so you're sitting down on the ground floor of the Riptide Inn and Tavern, and the ground floor, as I've said before, is open, and it's open air, so it looks out all across the sea. So you can see all of the shark hunters that are out on the beach getting ready to compete in the annual tournament. You also notice roll a perception check for me, Storm.
4.
Yes.
Okay, 4. So you're like looking around. You notice that there's generally there's loads of people everywhere. To be fair, it's like really, really busy. You're trying to see if there's anybody of any particular interest, but there's nobody that sort of stands out. It's just overwhelmingly that everybody looks like it's a good time. It's like a proper, festival atmosphere. And not a couple of moments. Are you, Janaeus, are you with Storm at this time, or are you elsewhere?
I'm not too far away. I guess I'm just looking out across the sea, having a deep think, and trying to remember to breathe.
Okay, so we'll come back to you in a second then. But Storm,
Janaeus,
oh.
come and sit down. Chill out. Come on. Let's sit down.
Yeah, okay, man. And I'll come sit next to Storm.
Don't call me man when I look like this.
Oh, I mean, it's a general that
Sure, I
everyone's.
know, but which I'm in disguise. Nobody knows about, sometimes I have a penis. They don't know that.
And what happens at this point is from behind you, you'll hear, uh, excuse me, madam, it is not my place to say, but I did overhear the part about the penis, and all I wanted to say is I am here to give you both a complimentary drink on behalf of the custom of Riptide Inn and Tavern. It is a Parma Flora. It is a concoction made up of different spirits and juices grown here on the very island that we walk on here today. And he puts a tray down of 2 drinks in front of you. They have this sort of light purplish hue.
Are they giving us free drinks?
It is
Are you
just
giving us free drinks?
yes, yes, I am, madam. It is a gift for all guests of the festival, the shark hunting festival. Please enjoy.
How many free drinks do we get?
It is a complimentary drink for everybody who visits, sir. Just one.
I'm going to speak to the person at the next table.
Okay.
The next table.
So at the next table, it's an elfin couple, both very sort of haughty, dressed in very elegant robes. It seems to be a couple.
It's me.
They sort of the one they sort of do this like really awkward shit. Let's just not talk to each other and just ignore it, and hopefully they'll let it go away.
I'm talking to you. Else. Hey, pointy ears. I'm talking to you.
And the wife turns around and she says, "Do you mind?"
I do mind actually, because I was talking to you and you're ignoring me, and you got those great big ears, so you must have heard me.
That is very, very disrespectful.
Sure, well, it was disrespectful, so you should have answered me when I said excuse me, shouldn't you?
Can I help you?
Disrespectful, me or you?
Can I help you, you vulgar woman?
Did he give you a free drink when you sat down?
Yes, he did. And it was absolutely delicious. Good day.
Okay. She's going to speak to the person at the next table. Another table.
Okay, so there's another table. Okay, so there's a table of halflings that are sat there. There's 4 halflings. They're all sat at a table.
Blokes or
yeah, all blokes.
Excuse me.
Yes, yes, madam.
Love, that's how you speak to someone when they say excuse me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Excuse me, little man. Did he give you a free drink when you sat down?
Oh, yeah, well, he gave us each one. Yes, sir. Oh, madam.
Very good. Oh, thank you very much. You were very polite, unlike some people around here.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Sorry, you can't be too sure.
No.
And my brother here, you just got to look after him.
You can't be too sure of what, sorry?
Free drinks.
Right, you are right. You cannot be too sure of them.
Looking at you, nobody's going to try and slip you in or something in a free drink.
You have to
Me,
ignore
on the other hand,
you have to ignore my sister. She gets a lot of offers from different gentlemen, and
tell people I'm your sister how.
Janaeus, roll a perception check for me.
Perception.
Janaeus, you are useless.
Deception.
Perception.
Sorry. 21.
Oh, 20. Nice. Okay, so whilst Rose is picking off at literally everybody in this fucking establishment, I can say this being Irish, like just typically like an obnoxious Irish woman would do. You notice that the halflings, the other 3 halflings that Storm or Rose, isn't focused on, are just like really uncomfortable, and everybody in the establishment has sort of turned and focused their eyes upon you, and it's sort of like really awkwardly quiet.
Rose, if we could maybe just draw a little less attention to me right now.
I think that's wise. I didn't realize they were so pretty. I thought it was a fucking festival.
Well, I don't know how familiar these guys are with Tritons. I don't know, like, how much of our political status has got to the surface
But
land.
you know, we can't just accept free drinks from anyone, can we?
Well, no, we can, exactly. But maybe,
And-
like, maybe use
Enrico.
some sorcery powers instead to, like, detect if there's any sort of poison rather than...
I can see just outright aggression may not have been the right way to go.
Yeah,
Just hold
not
on.
if we're trying to lay low.
One second, guys. Enrico, will you roll perception for me?
9.
9. Okay, so whilst you're enjoying your Palma Flora from the comfort of your wicker chair just outside of the Riptide Inn, you notice that there seems to be a commotion coming from inside.
I feel, as Enrico, I have been sat down far too long, and not enough people have seen me and my wonderful, my face and things. So I put my jacket back on. I put on my hat. I make sure it is positioned perfectly, and I saunter towards the interior of the bar.
Okay. And so as you walk into the bar, almost like in unison, like in Happy Days, you hear a sort of chorus from various people in the bar go, Enrico! And,
And then I go, hey!
and everybody laughs and everybody smiles. And you notice that there seems to be a couple of interesting people specifically at a table near the bar. A red-headed Irish, not Irish-looking. That's this was really bad. A red-headed woman, a human woman, and a Triton male, which is quite unusual.
I have seen them before, but they are not usual for me to see. I walk towards the bar and I take a pouch of coins and I shout to the bartender, "The next round, my friend, is on me," and throw it to that person.
Oh wow! Okay, how many coins are you giving?
Let us say 100 gold pieces.
Wow. Okay, so that's a big deal. So you check it. So the guy takes this bag.
The minute you walked in, the joint.
You have to make an entrance. You have to make an entrance. It's the first time in the campaign that people have seen me properly in a community group. So
he takes this money.
Brother, tonight I might not be staying with you.
Absolutely fine.
He takes this money and it takes him back. He sort of stumbles because he wasn't expecting this quite weighty bag. 100 gold pieces is quite a big deal. And he opens it up and, my goodness, Enrico's bought drinks for everybody!
And what I would like to do, if it is okay with you, Mr. DM, as I do this, I would like to do a cartwheel and end up sitting in one of the chairs at the bar at the same time.
I'd love to, but I'm going to ask you to roll acrobatics for me.
I thought you might. If I cock this up, it would be fabulous.
I want it to go wrong as much as I want it to work.
Well, this is it. You have to give them what they want. Making a brat of yourself or doing it right. 11. And that was with +7, believe it or not.
Wow! And you got 11. So you basically go to do the cartwheel, and you've worked out you've got enough space. Spatial awareness is really good, and you've stepped off good to do the actual move. And when you launch yourself backwards to do this cartwheel, you don't feel like you've stepped off in the right way to be able to do it, and you feel that whilst you're going to be able to complete the maneuver, it's going to look quite messy unless you don't do something quite extravagant. So do you want to just style it's up to you. Do you want to do anything else? Do you try and style it out?
I will try and do a spin out of it, and then I would like to try and throw a dagger at the bag of coins at the same time to pin it to the back wall at the same time. So I'm showing off. If I get this wrong, though, someone could die. I'm not going to tell a lie.
I absolutely love it. So you can choose. You can choose to either roll for performance or sleight of hand. Up to you.
Let me have a look at my character sheet and make an informed decision.
Are you gonna go with the flair of the performance and just see if you can wing it, or are you actually just gonna show everybody how deadly you are?
I think I need to. Whilst performance is not a terrible skill of mine, I think sleight of hand is more important with this, because if I get it wrong, I'm going to kill that poor sap behind the bar.
Which would be amazing.
Oh dear, 8. Even worse than the last one. I believe I have inspiration from our
You
one-to-one
do.
session. I'm going to
You
use
do.
that to try and re-roll this because it's not the great entrance I had planned. 23! I told you I could do it!
So you throw it with such skill, so everybody's like watching and they go, ooh, ah, ah. And then as you're throwing the blade, it hits the bag and it sort of just makes a little nick and the dagger falls disappointingly to the floor and everybody's like, ah. And then the bag just explodes and coins literally fill the room. They sort of fly off in all directions from this point, and everybody starts scrambling around to do it, cheering.
And my own form of it. I saunter over to my chair, and whilst I do this, I make the corners of my mustache curl so beautifully, and then sit down.
Janaeus and Rose, you've seen all of that happen. You've had a couple of coins, so probably about 5 gold coins have landed on your table. How do you react to that?
I won't react to the coins. I think I'm just marveling.
And what you've just seen, of course.
Yeah, I'm just going to be marveling at this court jester, if you will, that's walked in and done this performance.
Rose will take the coins. Hey, big fella.
Hello there. It is a pleasure to meet you, my dear.
Nice to meet you. Like your cartwheel. Have you got any more tricks?
I have got more tricks than you could possibly list. What kind of tricks are you interested in, my dear? He is giving her the eye, definitely, right now, and looking at her impressive cleavage at the same time.
I think you and I both know what sort of tricks I'm thinking about.
Well, my dear, we need to have a few drinks before we explore this further.
Let me get you a drink. What would you like?
I would like to try another one of these purple drinks. These Parma,
Okay.
I would call it Parma Violet, but that would sound derivative.
Well,
you can have
what's the most aggressive spirit on the menu as well?
Say again, mate.
What would be the most aggressive spirit on the menu?
The aggressive spirit, what, on the drinks menu?
Yeah.
Orc's Piss, which is actually a very, very. The reason it's so strong and so aggressive, if you like, is because it's laced with a very thin layer of poison. But it's like it's almost like a fucking what are those drugs called that alter your mind?
Hallucinogenics.
That's him. Yeah, hallucinogenics. It's like absinthe. That's the sort of equivalent.
Old-fashioned absinthe.
Fella, Turkey, fella.
Yes, madame. What is it that you
more
want? Not a penis. I know that.
3 more Parma. What's he talking about? Penis? That's 3 more of the Parma drink. Six ox piss.
And he goes to make the
Can you
drinks.
handle your drink, big fella?
He goes to make the drinks, but as he does, all of you across all of the island feel beneath your feet a trembling. Okay. And at first it starts off as just a very light little vibration, but then you can feel that the island is rocking and cracking. From the coast, that waves 12 feet high crash into the shore, and the sound of screaming begins to fill the air as a stampede of beachgoers flee from the sands. A chorus of shrieks add to the cacophony of shark hunters as shark hunters run from the water, pursued by humanoid creatures with fish-like heads and slick, rubbery skin. And for reference, these are the creatures that you see.
Oh man, I know these, don't I?
I don't know. Well, do you want to just roll me? Roll me a what do you call it?
History?
Well, no, it's your rolling to see if you. Well, yeah, you roll history if you want, or survival, or animal handling, or like something like that that sort of would be related to your exposure to animals. So survival or history.
Go with history's my best. I don't know.
Yeah, you think that these are Mero, so
Yeah, that's what I thought anyway. So if they're not, then
I mean, Storm presumably knows they're not Mero, as Storm has lived with Mero.
yeah, you would think that this is a Mero. Like this isn't. Well, when you've transformed into a Mero, this isn't what a Mero looks like. So importantly, guys, so chucking you into that. So, like I said, all of that's happened. Everywhere is now complete chaos, and in a matter of seconds, it's gone from being a holiday paradise to being an absolute like riot, basically across everywhere. And these shrieks are getting louder across almost like across the entire beach now. And these things are violent. The waters are looking choppier. The seas are obviously crashing down the sand. Absolute chaos. And they seem to be attacking people that are on the beach. These specifically, the ones that you notice. So at the moment we've got Enrico, Janaeus, and Storm are at the Riptide Inn and Tavern. Lily and Frayne, I know that you would have seen that the two most prominent hunters, like basically these creatures here, have emerged from the water, and there seem to be they're everywhere. That screams seem to be coming from everywhere. But these four seem to be most prominent at the south of the beach, just at the inn. Okay, just here, P1, roughly here.
How many? So from where we are, how big are they? What sort of height?
Humanoid creatures, so they're about between 5 and 6 feet, varying. And they seem to be pinning down two creatures. Okay, two shark hunters. She's a red tiefling with short purple hair, and a half elf with long brown hair. You guys see that?
I'm really glad that Moore isn't the only person who thought he was fit.
No,
he
I did too.
He reminds me of Rothgon Heart, so I'm like, let's go save him.
Poor Rothgon.
I know.
Janaea, really, we should do one, but perhaps do you want to wait?
Well, what do you guys want to do? Like all of you. So, how do you want to react to this?
Frayne would react by saying, "Last time the ground shook that hard, I was having sex with an ogre."
I summon my trident to my hand, so like a cloud of smoke sort of just appears, and then out of nowhere the trident just fully forms. So you guys would have just been, I guess, surprised by that.
Well, for everybody, so if you're doing that, so for the most part, anybody that was looking or focusing on Janaeus instead of the attack would notice that this trident has popped out of thin air and come to his hand.
I think we have things to go and deal with, my friends. I cannot allow these poor people to fall prey to these denizens of the sea. So he draws his rapier and his offhand weapon, and he whistles a shrill whistle. And are you joining me, my friends, as he walks outside? I can never go anything without these major things happening. I want one time go on a holiday when I just get to sit down and not have this shit happen.
I'm kind of chasing behind Enrico, going, let me try and talk to them first, see if I can figure out what they're doing.
These guys are about to go in, just for reference, they're about to kill. They look like they're trying to kill these two people that are pinned on the beach. They're not looking like they're misunderstood.
If they're going to go for a killing, if they're looking like they're going to go for a killing thing, and I'm within 60 foot, I'm going to make an attack.
Okay, so instead of that, I want you guys anybody that wants to take part in combat, please roll for initiative.
Lily is going to turn to Frayne and sort of in a sort of frozen moment of what's happening?
I'm not entirely sure, but I would say let's stop people getting killed. I'm sorry.
I guess if I can't leave you fellas to die alone, can I? Let's do this.
Oh, crikey! Oh, okay, sure. Whatever. Yes.
It's all right. We've done this before. Remember the orcs you saved me from? We managed to do that, all right. We'll be absolutely fine. I'm going to pass her on the head, and then wipe my hand on the skirt because she's a little bit damp. I'm also
gonna
getting my shield out.
pull some seaweed out of my eye and sort of fling it to the side, and stand preparedly, if somewhat tensely.
Okay, but she's going to enter the fray as well.
She is, because evil-looking things are attacking less evil-looking things.
Absolutely. And that shit is not okay. Right, so these
It's just
people
a little
then.
bit racist of us just to assume that the things coming out of the sea are the bad things. But
Well,
hey.
I mean, they are attacking people.
I mean, we're like, yeah, we're saving
I judge on
lives.
actions, and their actions are not good.
Plus, we've all agreed that the tiefling's hot, so like,
Yes,
we're gonna save the hot.
It's more than likely that the tiefling is some sort of criminal. That's
Well, that's
tiefling's role.
that's kind of racist as well. Let's be honest.
All
think-
tieflings.
I think this episode needs to be called "But the Tiefling is hot," though.
The one with the hot tiefling.
But he is, though. It's a valid comment. I was like, wow, this is a very attractive cartoon. Somebody has put a lot of effort into drawing this. The half-elf female manages to run up to roughly just where Janaeus, Enrico, and Storm are, but the tiefling has fallen on the beach and is being pursued by two of these Sahwajins. Apparently how you say it, Swahajin. Fucking hell, that's a word. On the beach. Okay. Now, initiative's the next thing I had to sort out, wasn't it? Slimy. Okay. So, who rolled 20 to 25? Or 20
No,
plus?
no one.
Anyone?
No, no one.
15 to 20?
Janaeus is 18, and
Enrico's 18.
my dex is. Oh, come on. 14.
And 16.
So Enrico, then Janaeus.
So, Enrico, Janaeus, 10 to 15?
Yeah, I've got 12. Frane's got 12.
Okay, Frame.
And Rose got 11.
And did Lily roll as well, sorry?
yeah, but as per usual, my initiative was very low, and I got a 4.
Oh yeah.
It's like
So
the Dice
four.
Maiden knows how to.
It's like she's running as fast as she can.
She has only got a little left.
I'm coming, guys.
And she's still a little bit conflicted, I imagine.
Yeah.
Exactly. The Dice Maiden just knows. Dice Maiden knows that Lily is sort of like trotting along behind Frame going, yes, but do we know that they're actually bad? Why don't we just try talking?
I've also when Lily was turning into a dolphin, I couldn't help but think as Frame that she's like a toddler I could take drinking.
Yeah.
Which is the best kind of toddlers.
I feel like that is a very good description of Lily. She's like a toddler drinking.
Just imagine her in a high chair at the bar.
More, if you weren't so
God.
tall, it would be a good description, my darling.
Sorry?
Yeah, I said if you weren't so tall, it would be a good description of you.
I'm gonna take that as a positive.
From Janaeus, just for reference, you're about 40 feet away from the tiefling and about 60 feet away from the nearest creature. Okay, from Greg's perspective, he is right in that the description was pretty vague. These creatures are, for visual description, very, very hunched over. Their skin is scaly. You can notice visibly it's like very tough looking type of like a scale type, and they are sort of like long jawed teeth that come out from the actual mouth, like fins on the top, and their eyes are these horrible, like fly-like red, just sort of bearing down upon you, and they make out this horrible sort of what you hear from them. They don't seem to speak common. Now, and I don't think any of you speak Sahwajin, because that would be very specific.
Is that the actual language they speak?
Yes.
Oh,
So,
man.
like that's what I'm saying. Though it would have been very fucking specific for you guys to have taken that. So we're into combat, and top of the round is Enrico.
So, Enrico, with his bonus action, decides to take a dash and rushes across this sandy floor towards the one that is on the furthest to the left, please, DM.
Service to the left, yeah, okay. And yeah, you comfortably get there, so you dash across the map using all of your skill and dexterity, are quite easily able to make it 60 feet.
Flow across the sand.
Yes, and you slide down next to this tiefling, this red tiefling that looks across to you in amazement as if to say, "Who are you?" but doesn't have a chance to make his move, and you arrive at this Sahwajin.
Have no fear! The Crimson Blade is here! Oh, I rolled an 8.
You're 18?
8.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I've rolled 4 dice. I think I've rolled less than 20 in 4 dice so far.
Yeah, and you, as you with great dexterity and skill, you manage to make your way to this creature and engage him in combat, but you just misjudge it, and as you swing at him with your blade, it just catches the sand, and it takes out all the momentum of it, and he's quite easily able to duck out of the way. And I believe that you've used your bonus actions. That ends your go, am I right?
Actually, what I can do is I can get my I know we need to agree this. If I get my my bird to attack at the same time, I get advantage against it, don't I?
We do, and I tell you what, when you let me know before you make an attack that's what you're planning, then we will follow that rule completely. Is that fair with you?
Well, if we are agreeing these things now, technically the familiar can move any time of my turn.
Wow!
And I did whistle. And
you should have been a lawyer.
In the description, I did say I whistled my bird. I just didn't tell you exactly where it was going.
You did.
And I was playing around. And to be fair, Mr. DM, I was playing around with special effects.
You're right.
Playing sound through my phone.
To be fair, it added something to it. So for that alone, I would be happy to say that this is fine. So you can.
Okay.
You can do
I won't
it,
do.
You can do it at advantage. You can do it.
I won't.
At advantage.
I won't. Yes, I won't do that again. I'll make sure I call it.
That's just fine. No, it's fair.
Oh, 8! There we are. The gods have spoken.
What did you roll? I can't.
8.
See.
8. Same again.
8 again. Oh wow, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you do it again, and you're like, "Not this day, senor." And then you go and it catches the sand again. You're like, "Fuck's sake, this is very deep sand."
I am having a crap holiday.
And I tell you what, like, roll me a perception check, Enrico, just while you're there.
Oh, that's good to go well as well. With my high wisdom. 15.
15, okay. So you are like, why am I not making my attacks, is what's running through your mind. And you notice as you're doing it that the tide seems further in than it should be at this point of the day. Okay?
Okay.
And we will leave it there. Janaeus.
Hi. I'm going to go for the other one that is not a track, that's on the Tiefling's case. So
this one down here, yeah?
Yeah, so seeing Enrico kind of go off to the right of me, I will then run straight towards that one. But as I'm running, I will bonus action. I'm going to cast Hex, which in my trident hand, there's like a black cloud of smoke that appears around the hand, and then that shoots up to the trident. So what I'm going to do is throw the trident at the creature, and I'm going to do a trident attack, and then go for damage on the Hex.
Okay, so you cast this Hex on this one, which is directly south of you from where you're stood now. Is that how I understood it? So you've run up close to this one that's on the floor, yeah? The Tiefling. You've hexed the Sahwajin, and you've thrown your trident at him, yeah?
Yep. So I'll go for hit. 12?
12 hits.
Oh, amazing.
On the nose.
So Should I just roll 2d6 for damage?
Yep, 2d6 is fine, plus your modifier.
And then you just take any one that you want for switching the damage between.
Yeah, they are. Hang on 1 second, actually.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, they haven't got any particular weaknesses to any particular damage, so that's fine.
So 10 damage on that.
Okay, so the second one takes 10 damage. So this trident comes from nowhere, comes directly from your arm, proper quarterback throw, hits him square in the chest, and it stands there. It's like, with a hit like that, it's bedded deep in this chest, and he sort of writhes back in pain and goes, "Ah!"
I'm then going to jump in front of the tiefling for the rest of my movement to sort of shield him.
You've used your movement from where you were,
I?
Janaeus. Yeah, you've used 30 feet of movement, unfortunately.
Then fine. Then maybe I'll just try and give a signal to the tiefling to get behind me and end my turn.
And he sort of looks at you and says, "No, man, I'm going to fight. I'm a fighter too." Just
You do you, bro.
I was going to say I'm waiting for you guys to say, "Well, it's not what you look like." And I'll leave it up. But that ends your go, yeah.
Yep, that's me.
Okay, so it's now the Sahwajin's turn. So first and foremost, the one that's engaged with Enrico is going to make an attack against him, and he has multi attack. So the first attack is going to be with a bite, and that is going to be a 13 to hit.
That is a miss, I'm afraid.
Okay, and then he's going to go and attack you with the spear that is in his hand, and that is an 18 to hit.
That is a hit.
And that is for 5 points of damage, please, mate. And then the second one is going to come up to make an attack at the tiefling that is on the floor. And he is going to first of all try and go in with a bite again and go on top of him on the floor. And that is going to miss. And then he's going to try and follow it with an attack with a spear. And that is going to hit. And that is going to do 5 points of damage. So he goes in with his spear to attack the tiefling that is on the floor, and the tiefling, not being able to do anything about it and being at disadvantage, struggles against him. And as he's putting his hand up, his hand is torn by the blade of the spear and starts to give out blood. And he lets out a cry of pain. "Ah, you prawn!" And that is going to end his go. This one is going to follow up the same trick that his mate Janaeus did, and he's going to throw a spear at Janaeus.
Oh, Wonder Woman braces.
Wonder Woman! And that is going to be 15 to hit.
It's a miss, so my Wonder Woman braces defend me.
Wow. Okay. And then he is going to sort of and he's going to look at you, and he's going to come 1, 2, 3 to get within range of you, and he's going to go at you with a bite, and that is going to be a 14, which I assume misses as well.
It's still a miss, yeah.
And this last one that's in the water at the moment, he's basically been possessed with a frenzy. So smelling the blood that had come from the attack of the bite that the Sahwajin had made against Enrico is just going to have filled the nostrils of this one that's downwind of him, and he's going to have turned and fixated his gaze, and he is going to be coming over, and he is going to throw his trident, or a spear, sorry, at Enrico. Now this is going to be a miss, so that is going to be his go, and he's going to hold his movement. He'll hold his other attack if anybody comes within range of him, but that is going to end his turn. So we're over to Frayne.
Right, well, Frayne throw down her boots because she's been carrying them up until now. She's been dipping her toes in the water. She's going to leg it forward 30 feet. She's really angry. She gets a kind of like pink flare in her eyes, and then she starts clapping her hands together really, really fast. You know, kind of rubbing them. She gets sparks electricity, and then she jumps and stamps into the ground and casts Shatter in the middle of that little group of the fuckers. So where the P1 is, right next to that.
Yeah.
Because it's
What's the move? What's the range?
So it's a 20-foot radius, but I can cast it from up to 60 feet away.
So you can get 2 within, because the spacing of the squares is that they're 10 feet. I would say that you could realistically get 2. So where would you like to position it? Would you like to? I'll let you choose which 2 you want to focus it on to hit. Frank.
Right. I'm trying. Well, I should be able to get. No, you're right. 2, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because I would say that they're probably about within 20 feet. I mean, I think that's probably just about within range for the 20 feet for 2 of them.
That's fine. I'd like to get the one next to the pink J and the one that's attacking Janaeus.
Okay, so we'll position it. I'm guessing you'll position it so that the Tiefling doesn't get within the blast as well. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Okay.
So I jump up and down. There's a massive boom. This enormous noise happens, like a massive kind of like a, you know when a guitar does a crunch?
Yeah.
It's that kind of sound.
Awesome. Like fills the air.
Yeah, fills the air with kind of like a pink puff.
And this energy, you can feel it, like you can feel the sands being affected by it as well. It's just this enormous force that goes over everything. And is it a dexterity saving throw they have to make?
It's a con saving throw, and it's they've got to beat 12.
12, okay. So... And natural 18.
Oh, that's harsh, man. But you take half as much damage on a successful throw. So.
Oh, okay, awesome. So roll for damage then.
Half of 17.
Nice. So they take 8 damage. So it's the 2 that's one fighting Janaeus and the one that's fighting the one that's attacking the Tiefling. So yeah, that's. Yeah, they feel this pressure. They suddenly they can feel this noise coming from somewhere, and they're just trying to block their ears, thinking it's a sound thing, and they can just feel this energy coming onto them. And they manage to take out the brunt of it, but they're still not able to avoid it. And 8 damage each, so that's a hefty blow for them. They know they look visibly knocked and irritated, but they're still. All of them look visibly frenzied by this rage that's been brought on by Enrico taking a hit.
Blooded?
Not bloodied, no.
Directly in front of us, are they tables there?
Yes. So you've probably got about 6 or 7 benches or so. Okay. A couple have been flipped over, so you could use them as cover.
And Rose wants to. If any of them are not flipped over, Rose is just going to stroll up the chair and onto the table, and from there start.
So you want to move onto one of the tables? Sorry, Storm.
Yeah.
So this one?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. So yeah, you move over and clamber up. And so are you stood on it, or are you sat on it, laid down?
Stood on it.
Stood.
I mean, she strolled, swinging her hips. She looked cool.
Okay, nice. So she comes down, rocking cock of the walk, looks as sexy as shit, and stands up on one of the tables. So you've got to probably say a good vantage point of the whole beach. And you can see that various people are running northwards to get onto the main island off of off of Palma Flora itself, and you can see that the Sahawakin are now engaged down the.
I'm going to cast Ray of Frost. The snowball I've already got in my hand. I'm just going to. She's just going to flick her hand like. Spider-Man style, straight at a 60 feet. Can I get to the one that's fighting Enrico?
60 feet, sorry. So 10, 20, 30, 40. Yeah, I'd say that you could get within. Yeah, you could hit him from there.
Yeah, I'm going to go for the one that's fighting that's on Enrico.
Okay.
So that's 24 to hit.
Oh, that's a hit. Palpable hit.
5 damage.
5 damage. So and is it a particular colour? Just like a snowball comes flying.
So it's a blue snowball comes flying, smacks him in the face, and it'll look like he's got frostbite on the side of his face.
Yeah, hits him square right in between the eyes, and his head clicks back, and he just looks back again with renewed fury as he tries to sink his teeth into Enrico once more.
Just say, there you go, love. You're welcome.
That was fabulous, my dear. Thank you. I am a little bit busy at the moment.
We'll have a
fine,
snow
by
fight later. Lily. Sorry, Storm, is that the end of your go?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okie dokie. Lily.
Okay, so Lily, I'm gonna sort of scurry forward to 25 feet is as far as I can really go, and peer around, and I'm going to cast Fairy Fire on the same Sahwajin? That's how you say it? The one that's fighting Enrico. I'm going to cast Fairy Fire on... It's got a 20-foot range, so can I reach... Can I get the one that's also fighting... The one next to it?
So what was the range, sorry, Lily?
I've got a 60-foot range, so actually I might not be able to reach that far.
No, so you could use your movement. So you've got a 25 feet movement, haven't you? So you could probably move with there, so just behind Frame. And I would say that would put you...
The spell reaches 60 feet, but it has an effect of 20 feet range.
So I would say that you could centre it on this one that's engaged with the Tiefling, so the one that's just by this pink J, and you could probably hit the other one as well, so the one that's engaged with Enrico with that,
Perfect. So I'm going to cast Fairy Fire. So what she does is she sort of kind of jazz hands a little bit, but sort of like she's sort of scratching the air, and this green glitter sort of starts to appear in her hands, and then she just sort of blows it over to the two. I can never say it.
Sahwajin. Yeah.
And as doing it, she said, "Go to the." I can't pronounce it. Sahwajin, and the green glitter just kind of blows over to them and makes them sort of glow iridescently with this green sort of dust, glittery dust.
And they look absolutely resplendent in the with the waves crashing behind them. They look like they've just emerged from the sea as these absolutely sparkling glitter bombs, sort of like permeating light and glowing effervescently.
And then she sort of nods and is like, "Okay, that'll do something, I hope."
And is that the end of your go, Lily?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. And then we're back at the top of the round then. So we're back with
Very
Enrico.
pretty.
It is time for Enrico to redeem himself. I whistle. I whistle sharply and send Spray to go and give an assist action to Janaeus, so that he also gets advantage as well. So that's it. That's his action.
Yeah.
I spin around with my cape and attempt to make my attack against the Sahwagan in front of me. That's how you pronounce it, probably not.
No, bang in.
17 to hit.
17 hits.
And I will roll again because I have an advantage because of the Fairy Fire. And it becomes a 23, but it's still not a crit.
It's still definitely a hit.
Okay, let us see what we can do to this fish creature thing. 19 damage.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, yeah, you with a flurry of attacks, and it's like this, from what I can hear from your soundtrack, like an 80s Baywatch montage is playing from like
This
all
is
of
the Zorro theme tune, I think you will find.
So it's like all of the slashes and like all of like the lights, like, wow, that's Enrico Fernandez, and like I can already see action figures, and you slash it twice, and this Sahwajin is looking very, very grim.
As he collapses, there is an F left on his chest.
He's still standing, Enrico, but he's looking very, very worse for wear.
It's all right. I am not finished with him yet. That is the end of my go.
Is he
Thank
blooded?
you very much.
Is he blooded, Greg?
He's
Will, is he blooded?
He's blooded, yeah, definitely blooded, but he's still standing. He's looking very, very, very sick at the moment. He's not well. Janaeus, over to you, please.
So, since the Tiefling says he can look after himself, and my trident's hanging out of the one that's on his case, I am going to focus on the one that's come to attack me. So I'm going to cast the Hexblade's Curse on the one that's in combat with me. So from the trident, even though I'm not touching the trident and it's a few feet away from me, like a surge of black energy comes along and just hits this one that's directly in front of me. And over wherever its heart may be, forms like a trident symbol that's branded into them, and it beats like a heartbeat.
Like it.
Then I'm going to, with the advantage from spray, hit this one with an Eldritch Blast.
So was it Hexblade's Curse that you did? Sorry, Stephen.
Yeah, so the one that's giving the Tiefling trouble is Hexed.
Yeah.
But the one I'm directly in combat with is Hexblade Curse.
Okay. Okay, yeah, cool. Go for it.
So 16 to hit is
hits, yeah.
1d10. So that is 4 damage to the one that's in combat with me.
Okay, so he takes this hit and he's still looking pretty tough, mind. He's still standing pretty strong against you.
That will end my turn.
Okay, so we're now over to the Tiefling's turn and the Sahwajin's. The Tiefling is going to make an attack against the Sahwajin with his rapier, with his spear, sorry. And that is going to be an 18 to hit, so that hits. And that's going to be for 5 damage. It's bloodied.
And the trident hanging out of it.
With the trident still hanging out of its chest, yeah. But the Tiefling goes up with his spear and he jabs up under the armpit of the Sahwajin, and he just sort of writhes back in pain. But in retaliation, that one is going to make an attack at the Tiefling. Oh, and misses. So just goes back at him with his spear and hits into the ground. And he's going to go in and drop his spear and try and bite him. And he misses. So forgetting that this trident is still in his chest, as he's going down, the Tiefling's able to grab onto Janaeus' trident and push back and force this Sahwajin to not come down on him, and is able to keep him at bay. The one that's engaged with Enrico is going to go in. That's going to be 20 to hit, not natural.
That is a hit.
Thank you. Unfortunately, the first one's going to do 4 points of damage, and the second one, which is an 18, is a hit.
Yep.
Yeah, and that is going to do 5 points of damage, mate.
Okay.
And that's so first one it goes in with bite, and then he goes in for a spear attack. The one that's engaged with Janaeus is going to make an attack with his bite first.
Hi there.
That's going to be a 16 to hit.
On the nose.
On the nose, so he goes in with bite for 4 points of damage.
Yep.
And that's another 16 to hit with a spear.
Fucking bastard. Yep.
5 points of damage.
Ah, fuck me. Right. So 9 in total, yeah?
9 in total, yeah.
Oh, ow.
This one is going to continue towards Enrico, and he is going to use all of his movement to get up against him, but he isn't going to be able to make an attack after that, and that is going to end their go. Frame.
Right. Frame's annoyed that she's not kind of in the middle of this, so she's going to run forward 30 feet, which should get me, I think, let's have a little look. How far does that get me?
It would get you 30 feet in terms of the closest enemy, would get you to within melee range of this Sahwajin that Janaeus is engaged with.
Fabulous. In which case, I'm going to attack him with my rapier. No one's entirely sure where I've managed to get my rapier from. It's just secreted about my
Pockets of many holding.
Yeah. Right. Oh, okay. That is a 9, but I understand it has fairy fire on it. Is that right?
That one
Not
does
that one,
Oh, well,
not.
that's a
Right.
pain in the ass. In which case, I'm going to use my own inspiration point to re-roll that,
Do it.
which is a 13. Oh,
That
look.
hits.
Right, okay, you little fucker. Right, in which case, that is 6 damage. So I'm going to poke the little
Nice.
bastard in the gut.
Actually, do you want to roll again? Because you have that one has actually got the help assist action from spray from Enrico's
Oh,
familiar.
okay.
So what do you want to roll again? See if you get an extra 20.
That would be nice.
And then we can retcon your usage of the bardic inspiration as well. No, we won't. Okay. Still hits, still does damage. So this guy's now blooded. So he takes, not expecting you to come from where you've done. He sort of looks over to you, and as he does, you slash across him against the chest, and this sort of trident that's appeared against his heart starts to throb, and he writhes in agony. And does that end your...
my go.
Okay. Storm.
Storm is looking at Lily at this point, and is going to say to Lily, "Are you a gnome?" That's it. And Storm clicks, and just behind the 3 Sahwachin that are to the, they're all in a row.
Yep.
Probably about. Fine, I'll go for the 2 that are around Enrico.
Yeah, good shout, because they are pretty damaged.
And so, yeah, so without even looking, she's going to click her fingers, and just behind them, the sound of 1,000 crashing waves can be heard, and they need to do a Constitution saving throw.
Having already done the Constitution saving throw at disadvantage, roll for damage for me, please.
And I'm going to use a meta magic point to re-roll all of those dice.
Okay. Okay, so how do you want to do this?
Oh, they're both going to die?
Yeah.
So basically,
actually, sorry, how do you want to do this with one of them dying?
Okay, so they both hear from behind them as if all of the oceans have erupted. And it's like a physical wave, but it's a physical wave of sound that just crashes onto them. And the one that dies, blood pours from his ears.
So the one that's engaged with Enrico directly at the bottom, just as he's trying to make another attack at Enrico, hears this horrible noise, and his head just explodes. He drops his spear to his floor and just runs to the sea, and just collapses just at the feet of the waves, and is removed from combat. And the other one is taking a big hit, but he is still looking pretty tough. Okay, and is there anything else you'd like to do with your turn? Lily, do you want to respond? You've probably got about 6 seconds to respond with.
Yeah, she's just gonna sort of look up and smile and wave and just be really thrilled to have been noticed and say, "Yes, I am actually," and sort of seeing the badass move that she makes, she sort of that Storm makes is kind of inspired. So she just slams her hand to the into the sand and is going to perform spike growth. And it's going to sort of, there's a little like mound is going to like rumble through the sand, almost like when you see in cartoons that they like when there's like a mole or something like burrowing. It's sort of, it's going to, this little mound is going to burrow underneath the sand and appear up behind the 2 Sahajins that are behind Enrico and the Pink Jay. And these enormous spikes are gonna kind of burst up in through the ground and sort of into them.
Yeah, so what I would say to that, Lily, is so it's cast. I'm just going to roll now to see if they've noticed it happening, okay? Because it's happened whilst they've actually been on the beach. So they've actually failed that wisdom saving throw. So they haven't noticed it come up. So if they try to move within their turn whilst they're in this space, then we'll roll for damage then, okay? So remember that they're in this terrain. I think it would make sense for everybody that can see the beach to roll for wisdom check, because otherwise...
I'm 14, so that beats your DC, doesn't it, Lily?
Yours. You've got to get a 13.
Cool. So Janaeus knows it's there.
I'm doing well. Rolled a 3.
I've got 5 and I'm not wearing any boots.
Oh god! On my turn, I just shout.
Okay, guys. So if you've
Storm got a 16.
So Storm, Janaeus, you've both noticed that a big portion of the beach where these Sahwajin are fighting at the moment has become pretty hazardous. That it seems like pretty deadly on the feet now. Everyone else, apart from Lily, guys, Frayne and Rico, like nothing's changed. Okay, guys, in terms of the character. And does that end your go, Lily?
Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay.
With a minor inner groan of, I don't know if I should have done that.
Love it. Top of the round then, please, Enrico.
I will spin around and attack the Sahohaken closest to me with my rapier again. But before I do that, I will whistle and bring my bird back to give myself advantage against that Sahohaken.
Okay.
So I whistle sharply.
Bird comes back onto you and you now have advantage against it, yeah.
14.
It hits.
Well, I luck than judgment, as is everything this evening. This holiday is going dreadfully poorly for me. Get away from it all, they said. 15.
15 damage?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, wow. So this guy is looking... He's pretty beat up now, but he's still just trying with the last ounces of his breath, trying to claw at you. Back. So, Janaeus next then. For let's go, please.
Right, so I need to do a concentration throw because because I've been taking damage, but I'm performing a concentration spell on the fishy guy that's hexed.
Yep.
So 14, I passed that. So the one that is dealing with the Tiefling is still hexed. I am with the one that's engaged with me. I'm going to bonus action call my trident back to me, so it's going to leave the one that's hexed, and I'm going to do a two-handed attack with the one directly in front of me. 17 to hit.
Hits.
So that's roll 1d8 plus 7 because it's got the hex on it. Hexblade curse, sorry. 13 damage to the one in front of me.
Oh, nice. Okay, tell me how you do it. How you doing?
This is it. Right, so I'm standing there, and I just hold in my right hand. I hold it out, and the trident comes flying back from the one that's got it in its gut. And then with my two hands, I just pull back and go directly into the middle of this creature and throw it over the back of my head. And then bring the trident back down with the creature just flying off into the distance to die. Literally just picked him up and throw the fuck up.
Okay, so what, with the trident still inside him? So you
No, like I did a little flick at the top there, just to flick it off.
Okay, so he sort of like goes up and I'll say falls back about 10 feet, fall into his death, and sort of falling on as he falls to the sand. His brothers in arms look over to him, sort of like, and let out this unnatural sort of shriek that fills the air, and you can hear the similar sort of sound echoing from other parts of the island.
Just for your notes, because he was Hexblade cursed and he's
you've
gone
got
to
your
0
hit points. Yeah.
I've got 8 hit points back. And I
don't forget to add those to you. That's normal hit points though, not temporary, is it?
Yeah. But I was down 9, so I'm pretty much back up to 4 now.
Good to know.
And because I bonus action called my trident, and I am now going to engage with the one that is fighting with the Tiefling.
Yeah.
But actually, I'll do that on my next turn, so I don't give it attack opportunity on its turn. So yeah, I'm going to end my turn there, having done that beautiful throw.
Okay, yeah, lovely. So you're ready, and focus has been changed to the other Sahagin. Just a reminder that you have seen the spike growth and all the rest of it. You did actually notice that with the check, didn't you?
Yeah, right.
Okay. So it's now the turn of the Tiefling. So the Tiefling again is going to make another attack at the Sahagin. He's fighting with his so the trident that he was using to push up the other one is now vanished in his hand. So he's sort of without anything in his arm. So he's just going to make a punch at this thing's face. He's going to sort of sit up and just try and punch it in the jaw. And it is going to hit, and that's just going to be an unarmed strike. So that's going to be 3 points of damage. So yeah, he just reaches up and punches this thing in the face, and this horrible slime just falls and lands onto his body. The one that's attacking him is going to follow up with an attack against him again, and he's going to miss remarkably. So he goes again with the spear, but it lands directly on the floor. So goes in for an attack with a bite, which is going to hit, and that's going to do 4 points of damage. So he tries, when this guy goes up to bite him, he grazes it with his teeth, and this just the sharpness of this thing's razor sharp mouth just sears the flesh, and blood starts coming from this guy's hand, oozing from his hand and down his body. The one that is engaged with Enrico is going to attack him, and that is going to be a 21 to hit.
It's a hit.
So that's 4. He goes in to bite you for 4 points of damage, and oh god, I feel like I'm fucking bullying you. 22 to hit with his spear, which is going to do 5 points of damage. So 9 total. How are you looking right now?
Oh, I'm all right, mate.
Yeah. Okay. Just chilling, mate. Just chilling. And that is going to be the end of their turn. So we are at Frayne.
Right. Okay. So Frayne is going to very carefully sidestep and go forward.
So yeah. So you're right next to the one that's.
I don't want to be right next to him. I want to be kind of 10 foot away. 10 foot away and slightly down.
So
I'm going to cast something that's in a cube. I don't want to hit the Tiefling or Enrico.
Gotcha.
Have you not gone into the spike?
I don't know, but I can't see
what,
them.
Yeah, so what we need to do, so Lily, you need to roll your damage now for Frayne.
4.
Oh, that's alright.
Only 4.
With a slight with a
That's good.
little cry of motherfucker. Right, okay. Because her feet hurt and she's jumping from foot to foot, she figures that she's going to use the sound anyway. And what she's going to do is she's going to jump in the air and stud her feet down. As you know, she's already squished the spiky things she was standing on, and is going to cast Thunder Wave.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, so there's a kind of a 15-foot cube of it looks like a pink sonic boom that bounces in the direction of the remaining slimy green men, because she doesn't know what they're called or how to pronounce it. And they need to make a Constitution save.
And I can tell you now that they have
That's
failed.
Lush. In that case, they are going to have to take some damage. Okay, they each have to take 9 damage, and they are pushed 10 feet away from me, which is why Frayne has positioned herself in such a way so she's pushing them
so that they take the damage from the spike growth. Amazing. Amazing. Lily, do you want to roll for damage for the spike growth, please?
Yeah.
Yes.
Another 4.
And do you both want to tell me collectively how these guys died, please?
I haven't quite finished my go though.
Sorry, Frayne.
I
Sorry.
was wondering if I could do a little vicious mockery while I'm at it. Just for shits and gigs. Just as after the thunder wave, she's going to do her cheerleading clap of. You think you're hard, but babe, you're not. You're just a slimy glog of snot. Just because you know, liked it. So how we kill them? Oh, between the two of us. So pink thunderwave, that they both lean into, and as they lean into it, it pushes them along the spikes, and they fall forward, which means that as they're pushed away, their stomach dragged against the thorn.
Lush, and they just the sheer brutality of that one action has just left them as bleeding husks on the sand, and this green oozy blood starts to permeate into the water and into the sand itself as they collapse down. And you guys have successfully won your first combat in the campaign. Congratulations! And that
Although
was...
actually I'm willing, but Lily's actually a little bit open-mouthed and going as green as her hair.
fair point, actually, because it is pretty gross. So the aftermath of that battle, then. So these Sahwajin are laying dead on the floor after you deftly handled that situation. Quite a difficult encounter, but you guys showed your worth and managed to, handle it out without any real casualties.
It's a good job. My coat is red. Is all I am saying.
Yeah, Enrico took a bit of a beating. But I mean, the immediate aftermath of what's happened. So this chaos is still very much going around you, just to bring you back into the room. People are running around screaming. There's still like lots of general screams and things. And the immediate aftermath is that Elanza, the young half-elf girl that had run up from the Tiefling, runs down to her friend and she says, Joe, are you okay? Are you okay? Of course I'm okay, Lanza. Okay, I'm fine. And she helps him up to his feet, and he turns to you all and says, my friends, thank you. Those were some tough bastards, right?
I mean, they weren't the nicest people I've met up here so far, and I've met, you guys. So yeah, they're the worst people I've met so far.
Are you all right though?
I'm fine. These things caught me unaware, that's all. And then the Alonso turns and she says to you all, she says, my friends, I think that we need to get out of here. We need to head to the ships on the east. We need to leave. I have fear that the island is sinking. And Josh says, what are you talking about? We need to defend our home. We need to raid off these invaders. They have tried before. We need to fight them. And I say we go north and drive them off.
Why do you think this island is sinking? We have heard the tremors, but do you suspect it is going to get worse?
Look around you, my South African. Look around you, my friend. Can't you see?
There are tremors, but there are volcanoes in this region. There are many earthquakes and waves that grow larger than others. It does not mean that the island is sinking, my friend.
Okay, suddenly there is a large aftershock, okay, that is bigger than any of the tremors, literally, as Enrico is saying that, bigger than any of the tremors that have come before. One really, really shakes the island. And I'd like you all to make a perception check, please.
I may have made a mistake.
While this has all been happening, Rose has gone and has found the most intact of the Sacagawean and is currently sketching and is in a complete world of her own. I would have even thought the perception check might be at disadvantage, but that's up to you. You're the...
Okay,
I mean, she is entirely focused on her sketching.
I mean, I would say that this is a big tremor, okay, Storm. This is the sort of thing that would knock you off of your feet if you weren't paying attention. So I would say that rather than making a check at all, I would say...
She's sitting cross-legged.
Okay, sitting cross-legged. I mean,
Anyway.
This thing you've noticed, so I would still make a perception check. And I'm talking, I mean, I don't know how far you would have got with your drawing, but we're talking that this is happening over a period of about 30 seconds. This is very quick.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. So, did anybody actually roll below a 10?
No.
Okay.
No.
So this note, you would notice that from earlier on, I think that the original telling tale, Enrico, I think you noticed that that the tide seemed further in than before, but all of you can see that this item, this island is sinking at quite a fast rate. You can notice that it's actually sinking probably the region of about 5 feet every 10 minutes, so quite aggressively.
Oh god.
I suggest we find some way of getting off this island and rather quickly.
Yeah.
I'm going to continue to sketch.
Lily, do you fancy a piggyback?
I wouldn't it, but I'll trot along if I'm gonna be too far behind. I don't want to hold back the group, but yeah, actually that would be
Hop
nice.
on, love.
To the Tiefling. Where were you guys planning to go?
Can't you see, man? I'll head north to my countrymen. We'll go up to the beaches along the west shore. Sorry, I had to work out what west was, even though it's written on the screen in front of me. And we will go west, and we will fight them off in the north. I fear that some of the other raiding party have gone against my countrymen.
So north to go west to go north.
We'll go northwest, man. Okay, like it's very, very time pressing. There are fucking prawns to kill, you know.
I'm still learning some of this sort of like northwest stuff, like above the surface. Fine.
You are a fish. Be quiet. Like, what are you doing? Are you fighting with me, or are you running away like a coward with a lanza? Don't be like that, Jarrell.
I think whatever we do, we need to do it quickly. Shall we go with him? We have no other way off the island. I no longer have a ship of my own. Otherwise, I would be making an exit and inviting you all along. But I cannot do this.
Would you guys want to look to see what's going on? Do you want to? I mean, the island is pretty, you know, small. You could probably see most of it from where you are if you wanted to look at any particular thing. Or do you want to just head straight towards the boats?
I think Frayne would like to have a little conversation, a very quick conversation with Lily about whether they're going to go on an adventure or whether they're going to run.
Okay.
Because I mean, I don't know these fine gentlemen or the lady, and I'm not that keen on elves, but you know, she seems all right. What do you reckon? An adventure, or would you rather stay safe?
Set out on this trip to, you know, do the whole living life to the max and doing the thing. So, like, going off of that whole, like, status quo that we sort of started off with initially, I feel like the adventure is the way to go. But you know what? There's something in my heart that's just saying, like, be safe. But I'm fighting it. And if you want to have an adventure, then let's adventure.
I think that's a yes, lads. Coming with you.
Storm, we going? Rose, sorry. Whoops.
I'm just I'm just doing a sketch.
I don't think now's the right time for that. The island's literally sinking.
My dear, we have no time for that right now. We need to go. We need to move.
We'll be fine, but don't think these
All the
guys.
time. Oh, okay. Well, you're the boss brother. I'll come with you.
We'll go.
Right, we're going to follow the handsome gentleman with a nice coat.
Handsome gentleman, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, Enrico. I was like, what character's got a coat?
I am offended that you did not know that was me.
Well, when anybody says attractive, I always think of you. But I was like, hang on, is
I think
with
you're
a coat? Is it with a coat?
He has a very nice
With it. I have a
red
long
coat.
shotgun-esque coat.
Of course you do. Yeah, sorry, I should know. It's like part of the look, it's the aesthetic. I'm sorry.
It is
So,
all
the
of the aesthetic.
It looks like the call is being put upon you then, Captain Fernandez. Where to next?
We will go with our new acquaintance here, the Tiefling, and his lovely half-elf, I presume his girlfriend, I do not know. But we will go with them. We will go with them, and
well, they're conflicted. So they turn to you. Jared's saying, "Yes, come with me, man. We will fight for the glory of killing these fucking prawns." And Alonso says, Please don't listen to him. Please listen to me. Persuade him. We need to go to the boats. We need to go to the docks. He'll die if he goes up there. You all will. We just need to get out of here.
I think
While you discuss this, I'm just going to finish my sketch.
I mean, I'm okay with on the sea. That's fine with me.
I am worried that if we engage with this, we are going to be. We can tell the island is sinking. We get into a fighting situation where we cannot get out. It is going to mean the lives of more than just myself. So it is not just my choice. What shall we do?
Stage, I think we'll have an adventure either way, Frame. So, I'd rather have an adventure where I live than an adventure where I am likely to die.
I literally just escaped my life, so I'm not willing to put it on the line anytime soon.
We had a bit of we have quite literally just had quite an adventure in fighting off those things. So maybe we should have a safer adventure.
Right.
Janaeus, I'd like to go with the gnome. I want to sketch her.
Really?
I have to draw you.
Like one of your French girls?
So what are you deciding, guys?
I would like to try and convince the tiefling that, or actually, I might even ask Lochte. Do you think you could try and convince this couple to come with us together? Then, if we are going to try and make it to the boat.
Well, listen. Joe, was it? Now.
Joe.
I love
Joe. Joe. It's not difficult to say, is it? It's
hard
Joe.
in my accent, my love. I'm a high elf. We all talk.
Come, we need to fight. We need to go fight.
Just think about it. If you leave your lovely friend here to go back to the others on her own, and then these fishy-headed men start attacking them, who's going to save them if you're here?
Yeah, you'd be well dead if it wasn't for us.
Roll for persuasion at advantage.
Thank you.
And while you're doing this, I am waving my red coat at him. This was green when I started this holiday.
If only there was a way you could leave a rating for this holiday, so other people know the kind of experience that you've had.
I am going to do your personal rating.
21 was the highest.
He is reluctant, but he says, "You're right. You need me. You need strong, capable warriors, and I am very protective. So, yeah, let us go." Alonso, you're right. We'll go to the boats.
Aren't you nearly dead?
I'm very strong. Okay, you have no idea how many hit points I have.
And also, his skin is the color which will hide and obscure it, like my coat is. So we are all good. We will all pretend we are fine.
He hit me. This guy, this Sahoagwin, was a disadvantage, yeah? And whatever that means in context of it not sounding like metagaming. And what happened after that, yeah? He missed me so many fucking times. Anyway, a story for another time, perhaps. Let's get
He was missing you and hitting me.
I finished my sketch now. We can go.
Right then, love.
Oh, good. I am so glad you have finished your sketch. Everybody, we can stop what we are doing and get ready to go.
Right.
Oh, good.
Let's go.
See you later, yes.
So, who's leading the party then as you head up towards... Are you all just running together, yeah?
Yeah. Towards the,
Okay.
I guess
I'd like to have a chat with Mr. Tiefling. I want to find out all about him and all about the men that came to the sea.
You will not
What's running for our lives?
This is so you're about 100 feet away from the docks, and you're all running, like there's people attacking. So who wants to roll a perception check for me? Someone be nominated to roll a perception check, please.
Mine's not that great. How's yours?
My perception is crap.
My
Lady Bar?
perception is +4, so I rolled 24.
Oh! Brilliant. At least somebody can actually see what's going on and actually really reparates. So, Frayne, as you're trying to show me everybody together and as you're all running up towards the docks together, you notice that several ships are already sailing away.
Well, are we running up a beach by any chance?
You are, yes.
Okay.
I've just realised as well that when this is edited, okay, Craig is going to have picked all of this up when Craig's mic's been on, which is fucking awesome.
This is the first run, guys. Slow mo through the surf.
The
Bubblegum
hair,
hair
or like it's
flowing in the
proper.
breeze.
All of you.
I'm leaving a trail of blood behind me, but it doesn't. I don't care.
You can't see that; it's just dripping on the floor
Yeah.
behind you. Yeah. As you approach closer, you notice that there's one group of sailors battling against some more Sahawajin as they try to board the last vessel still docked. Okay, so
Is that P8?
now are you all listening carefully?
No. Yes.
As you approach the docks, one ship remains moored to the waterlogged docks. Waterlogged docks. Edit that one, bitch. Its crew members are battling Sahwajin, as well as giant crabs with orange shells and vicious pincers as they attempt to board the vessel. A young villager wearing a blood-stained white robe stands back from the fight and screams an incantation, calling a burst of golden flame down on one of the Sahajin. As you arrive, she turns to you, clearly frightened. Are any of you wounded? Those sailors need help, but I can't get close enough to heal them. But if I heal you, will you please help them?
Our adventurers proved their worth today. When danger calls, they charge in, blindly running into thorns. They mispronounce Sahajin. The tiefling is hot, but perhaps not as pretty as dear Enrico. The lesson to take away today: remember that sharks are dicks, though.